Patience and the spiritual path go hand in hand. It's an ongoing process. It's a multi-life process. It's beyond a past, present, and future thing as well. And because of that, it's enjoying the journey with the process, the ups, the down, embracing the darkness, the light, and not just finding an equilibrium in it, but also mastering it. You've got a process with this that Art Bell used to say in some of the shows, something about instant gratification generation, pardon me. And it's something that's common, I guess, some may say with recent generations, but I think all generations, all people to an extent, at least experience that. Just like we experience thoughts that are not positive, that can be some form of psychic attack, or just impure thoughts, ideas. We also have good things, and good things to experience, things that are uplifting to experience. And because of that, and while I'm referring to the instant gratification generation or generations, is because things take work, they take time, and things happen on God's source creator's time or the universe's time. There's a thing that you look back and it makes sense after the fact. Whether it's relationships, where you live, things that you've done, types of work, study, people that you meet, there's a thing that you look back and you have these aha moments and it makes sense. And when you're in the midst of it, it doesn't make sense a lot of the time. But what can somewhat, not speed up the process, but it could in hindsight, when you look at it, though it's part of the process, is dedication and discipline on being the best you. Now, just because somebody might be able to meditate for hours on end on top of a mountain doesn't mean you've got to. And that's the path to enlightenment, though I do recommend having your own forms of mindfulness and meditation and being consciously aware of your thoughts, your feelings, observing them. Because either way, it comes back to mastery of the mind, self-mastery, which to interface with other intelligences on a level playing field, that, to me, is needed. Though a lot of people are having experiences that are interfaces for this world with the other worlds and other realms and other intelligences that we could say don't have self-mastery, but it leads them to that in a lot of cases on the journey. It's sort of just a natural byproduct that you change. And it's a very common thing that through contact, eating habits, people that you surround yourself with, what you dedicate your time to, how you look at this human vessel, the spiritual self, these things are brought on board and are very important byproducts of contact because there's changes that occur. And these changes are opportunities to become the full expression of God's source creator within the physical form. There are opportunities to be the best version of ourselves. That's through trials and tribulations, these things can be the fruit. If we can take it, and there is very much ups and downs on that path and that journey. It also comes down to attachments. Now, there's spiritual attachments where spiritually entities can connect to one's field, can cipher energy, can give parasitic thought forms. Now, I've gone a lot about that in the past, but what I'm referring to here is attachments of our experience. It could be loved ones. Being attached to a certain situation that when you get in your comfort zone, that's the way it is. Attachments to possessions. Attachments to things lasting. The very unfortunate situation I've got to approach this with to go full circle for this to make sense is that no matter what, every single person that you know and thing that you've got is only momentarily there to be experienced. Now, it could be short term, long term, but the fact of the matter is, though there are exceptions, so you can't, as I say, you can't always take what I'm saying to be gospel either way. I want you to use discernment and follow your own heart, but everything that I'm saying is not black and white here. The analogy I'll use is that, and it's not to put a downer or anything, I'm just using this as an explanation. You're in a comfortable job, and all of a sudden, that company is selling up, sizing down, you lose your job. And you may have been attached that everything was going great, the finances was great, the people I work with is great. There is that situation. Just like with a relationship. You think you're going to be with somebody for the long term, in it for the long haul, and it just doesn't work out. And this also happens with deaths of a loved one. That no matter what, whether it's parent, child, parent, sibling, what have you, someone's always going to go before or after you. And this is why we embrace each and every moment and be present as much as we can and enjoy the fruits of sharing this experience with others, because when you reach and you're interfacing with the other side, and I'm again using this in a simplistic term, when we're in a love frequency, that's what shines bright. And it's always with those that are able to share fruit, it comes back to loving more. With those on the other side, when they're communicating to this side, could have loved more. That love is a key to the human experience. Seeing the bigger picture of what matters, what doesn't matter. And of course, it's a lot easier to say that from a external perspective looking in on this. When you're in it, it's a different matter. The situation is that in this, it comes full circle. That when one door closes, another opens. And it's up to us how easy that transition can be, but you've also got to be able to feel in those moments what it is to be human, to love somebody, to lose somebody, but also using that same fuel for celebrating what it was that you experienced, or the people that are in your existence right now that you're experiencing. Too often we do not celebrate. There's a reference with all this as well, that it comes down to first acknowledging our attachments. In one way, celebrating and realizing those attachments to a point that they're also an opportunity to be free. It doesn't mean, for a convoluted catch-22 with all this, what's the use of me putting in this time, this energy into this relationship or this project if one day it's just going to go to dust? That is not a positive way to look at this reality and your experience. And I don't think anyone's got the answer, though. A perspective that I'm open to share here is to see things as projects and doing the best that you can in those projects to get fruit from those experiences so you can share that and also have it as soul fruit to assist with your own soul evolutionary process. And it also does lead to unconditional love, to love without conditions. And that's where there is hurt from the end of relationships or the end of, we could say, having a job that was great, whatever the scenario is. But in that hurt, there is fruit. as I've been saying. And this fruit is not realised a lot of the time until after the fact of looking back on those situations, those scenarios, and being grateful and having gratitude for whether it's the people, the opportunities, the experience, the knowledge which led to wisdom that you got to gain through whatever it is. And a lot of people have conditions. And this is where, first and foremost, we've got self-mastery for ourselves. But when you're in relationships or you're working with groups, that pushes self-mastery to another level in many different perspectives, with loving, detachment, and also compromising where you can. But also it does shed the ego, because the ego can be something that can be a preventative of you going through an evolutionary process, in those types of experiences and scenario. And again, I don't think any spiritual teacher, master, this, that, the other, has the answer for everything in every single situation, case, and scenario. They've got niches. We've all got these sort of specific areas that we can assist each other in. And again, it comes back to the fruit. And that fruit sometimes is not seen for a long time, just like with certain trees. They can take many years till the fruit's produced. But it's the maintaining, it's the cultivating, it's the watering, it's the love that leads to that fruit being beautiful.